Hello, I'm Sakshi, and today I'm going to speak about the Tata Nifty India Digital Exchange Traded Fund. This fund is going to track Nifty India Digital Index. It is an open-ended exchange traded fund. The NFO has been opened on 14th of March 2022 and it has been closed on 25th March 2022. Mostly the companies on this fund are the IT companies, and if we look at the risk of the scheme, the risk is very high, and if we look at the risk of the index in terms of riskometer, the risk is also high. Digital revolution. As soon as far as the digital revolution has arrived, there is growth in IT sector. You can see over here that from in terms of smartphone users in millions, as of 2016 they were around 305 million, whereas as of 2020 it has been increased to 748. This is a huge rise in terms of smartphone users, whereas in terms of number of internet users in 2016 they were around 343 millions, and as of 2020 they were around 749. So we can say the number has been doubled up. And whereas when it comes to of UPI transactions, in the first quarter of 17 they were just 18, and in the first quarter of 2017 it was just 18, and whereas in the first quarter of 2021 it was around 22,331. So if we look overall, the average data consumption per user per month, that is in MBs, it is around in 2018 and 16 it was around 2758, and whereas in 2020 it is around 13,462. So digitalization has been increasing, and because of that every sector is going to go to digital, not only to optimize cost but also to drive revenues. Digital has a role to play in all segments of an enterprise, be it in manufacturing sector, whereas in sales sector, be it in marketing sector, or be it in human resource sector. The impact of digitalization is resulting in transformation across various sectors. So if we look at the picture over here, we can see that the digital enablers, basically these are the telecom sectors companies or the IT sector companies which are transforming India into digital India, and the digital change agents are using or taking the help of these companies to grow themselves. The example of IT sectors, that is companies that is in telecom sector companies, that is digital enablers, are TCS, HCL, Infosys, Wipro, etc. And digital agents are Nokia.com, Jeevansati.com, IndiaMart, Just Dial, IRCTC, etc. So with the help of this digital enablers, digital change agents are working for their benefit, and these are the companies which have been there in the fund. So now if we look at the fund details, the scheme name is Tata Nifty India Digital Exchange Traded Fund. The NFO date was 14th March. Um, Opening date was 14th March 2022, was opened on that date, and it was closed on 25th March 2022. It is an open-ended fund. The objective, what is the objective of the fund? The investment objective of the scheme is to provide returns that correspond to the total returns of the securities as represented by the Nifty India Digital Index, subject to tracking error. However, there is no assurance or guarantee that investment objective of scheme will be achieved. And which type of scheme it is? It is an open exchange traded fund scheme, and fund manager is Mita Shetty. Benchmark is Nifty India Digital Index (TRI), and the minimum investment amount during NFO is rupees 5,000 and multiples of rupees 1 thereafter, and then NFO per unit prices on allotment value of each will be approximately one of 100 of underlying index, and the load structure, that is entry load is NA not available and exit load is null. So my opinion so my my opinion over here is that if you want to invest in this fund, this is a very risky fund. This is very risky fund to invest in, and the risk is very high over here. And if you already have some IT sector index in your portfolio, then you should I suggest you that you should not invest in this scheme, and there is much volatility over here. And if you look here that it is good for long term investment, it would be beneficial if you would invest it for long term purpose. It is not suitable for short term purpose. So overall I would say that you should this is a risky fund, so try to avoid it.